My lovely people, you are welcome back to my platform once again. Today we are dealing with financial accounting. In this financial accounting, we talked about double entry principle, that transactions must be recorded twice. For every debit entry, there must be a corresponding credit entry. And in the last class, we talked about different types of cash book. We have single column, we have two column, we have three column. In that single column, one of them is cash account. Cash account is an example of a single column cash book that records only cash transactions. And I made you to understand in the last class that cash account or cash book is similar to receipt and payment. The debit side is receipt, the credit side is payment. In recording all these transactions on the board in a cash account, the debit side is receipt. Money coming in must be debited. The credit side is the payment. Money going out will be credited. In a simple language, you will assume. Now, mind we have written Jane on top as the owner of the account. You will assume and believe you are the owner of the account. So when you receive money, you debit. When you give out money, you credit. Without wasting much of our time, this is a cash book. It belongs to Jane. Jane cash account. We'll draw a line like this. This will be our dates, our particulars, folio. Folio is for reference purposes. Amount, date again, particulars, folio, and then amount. We'll draw the line in this way. This is our credit side, the right-hand side. This is our debit side, the left-hand side. Here will be dates. Here will be particulars. Particulars. Here is the folio. Folio there, F-O-L-I-O. We'll call it ledger folio. Ledger folio is for reference purposes to refer. And here will be amounts. Amounts. And here will be our Naira symbol. There is date, because this is still Nigeria. There's the currency we are talking about now. Folio. And this is amount. And here is the Naira symbol. So if you look at this question, the cash book, it has been divided into two. This is the left-hand side, the debit. This is the right-hand side, the credit. This transaction you see on the board, starting from August 1. Jane started business with cash. That means that is capital. And that is the money that came into the business. I'll write on the debit side, dates, August 1. I'll write capital or sometime balance brought down. Here is the capital. And here is 800 Naira. Because the person starting the business, that means the business is receiving. Remember, the business is different from the owner. There's what we call entity concept. That concept separates the owner of the business from the business. So Jane is different from this business. Jane is the owner, but the business is different from Jane. So the business is receiving 800 Naira to start the business. So when the business receives, we debit. When the business gives out, we credit. August 3, purchase goods by cash. That means that this business has to go and buy something. And by buying something, they are giving out money. And when money is going out, we'll credit. And that will be August 3. Remember, the person said purchase goods. If the person has mentioned purchase goods, we'll write purchases. But if the person has mentioned purchase motor van, we'll write motor van. But this person has mentioned purchase goods. So we'll call this one purchases. But assuming he has said purchase motor van, we'll write motor van. And the amount involved here is 500 Naira. On August 7, this business decided to sell. When they sell, money will come in. And when money comes in, we'll debit. 7, we'll write sales. When they say sold goods, the type of goods that was sold wasn't mentioned. So we'll write sales. But if they say sold furniture, we'll write furniture. Sold typewriter, we'll write typewriter. Sold computer, we'll write computer. But when they say sold goods, the type of goods that was sold wasn't mentioned. We'll call it sales. And the amount is 3,000 Naira. On the 10th, The organization paid rent of the apartment they are doing the business on. So that apartment, they have paid. Money will go out. And that will be August 10. We'll write rent. And the amount is 350 naira. In a simple language. The debit side records transactions coming in. Money coming in into the business is debited. Money going out from the business is credited. If you look at what is on the board, the debit side can be more than the credit side. The credit side can be more than the debit side, any side. But if debit is more than credit, accountant will say there is a debit balance, which I explained in the last class. And if credit is more than debit, we'll say there is a credit balance. If you check what is on the board, the total here is 3,800. That means the debit side is bigger than the credit side. That means debit is more than credit. The difference will be on the credit side, which is called balance, CD. Carried down, CD. Carried down. We also have BD, brought down. We can also write CF. CF is carried forward. So if I use CD, the next thing will be BD. If I use CF, the next thing is BF. So you don't mix these things together. Without wasting much of our time, the debit side total is this, 3,800. I draw two lines as a symbol of closing the account. And, let's believe that this is the end of the month. That is 31 of August. We're going to quickly subtract in a simple language. 3,800, 3/8 minus 850. 3/8 minus 850. The total payment is 850. The total receipt is 3,800. The difference will give us 0,592. That means the debit side is more than the credit side with 2,950. We'll draw the line on the same line on your book. That will give us 3,800. For every credit entry of the 2,950, there will be a corresponding debit entry, which we'll call BD, brought down. This is the balance. And after August 31, here comes September 1. If you look at what I've drawn on the board, that's an easy way to prepare cash account, a single column cash book example. The debit side is money coming in with debit. The credit side is money going out with credit. On that note, without much ado, if you have a question, you can write in the comment section or give me a call and I'll be willing to explain more. On that note, if you have a question, call. You want to schedule private online class, you can call. You want to get copies of the book, you can call. God bless you. See you again when the need arises. Bye for now.